get into the hip hop week and the stuff that we got to get into for hip hop Wednesday that we got up today. Happy Wednesday. I know it is a little bit late, but I had a busy day, been working. But I hope everybody had a good day. Hope y'all day did good. Went good. I hope y'all work didn't tire y'all out like it did me. But let's get down to the mess and the mess that we got, y'all, and let's get into it. And first up, we got Diddy. So after Diddy ended up, sir, after he just been well, his sentence came up and everything. And now we just found out that after he is done with his time, them 50, after he do these, what, 50 months? Like, he got a year and maybe, what, 17 days or more? He got a year already. He gonna do like maybe 3 years at the most, and he gonna end up having to actually go into a. He had to have no contact with any other victims. Also, he had to participate in an um outpatient program, treatment program. On top of that, he had to do a drug abstinence program and a DV program. Yes. So they trying to make sure that they put this stuff in place. I said, yeah, when y'all could have just gave him the full 20 years. Y'all thinking it's doing something, but okay. Good. Is what it is. But let me know how y'all feel about it. But let's move on to the next. Let's get through this, y'all. Get through this. So next up, let's move on to Busta Rhymes. So we know Busta. If you know what's going on with Busta, it's been a little on the hush hush. We know he was accused of assaulting his used to be assistant. So he comes out to let us know that them allegations are false. Because the assistant has filed charges against him, and yeah, he was arrested and everything. So he's waiting on the trial and stuff to go through. So he's saying that none of that has happened. I said, sir, there's a police report. So how you gonna get around that? What you gonna do to get out of this? What you gonna do, Bus? What you gonna do? Your rap skills ain't gonna work this time around. But we'll find out sooner or later. I said, so who knows when his case gonna come back up again? I said I haven't heard anything about it yet, but it must be heating up sooner or later because the blogs is staying on it. Buster must be coming up next with this assault case and everything. Let's see what's going through, y'all. But let's move on past that. Let's get into Scrappy and Mama D. So they went over to Nick Cannon. I want to say they went to play spades, his little thing that he has, and apparently we end up finding out a little backstory where when Scrappy was 14 years old, he had a party in the hood, and Mama D didn't want him to be carrying a purse, so she got some grown strippers to come to his 14-year-old party. Where he had a full block party and all the girls his age now seen the strippers and they went to go get their mamas. Their mamas come back in there. Mama D like, this my house. Like all you and your children can leave. And then when this is all over, then y'all can come back. And they did. The young ladies came back after Scrappy said he was traumatized from that. I said it makes a lot of sense the way he goes through relationships by that because she didn't want him to be gay. But I said that doesn't make any sense. But there's a lot of people that are like that. A lot of parents, and definitely her generation, that acts like that that don't make any sense. And you can tell that it affected the way he moves in relationships. Um, Hopefully, he also talked about his mama getting therapy. and she ain't got it yet, which mama didn't need to get because this traumatized your child. And this was the first time when he brought it up. This was the first time she heard he was traumatized by it. I said, you couldn't tell? Cause she had the dope dealers at the party. I said, now that's some crazy stuff. We know she was a madam, and she was a drug. She was a hustler too. She had multiple hats, you know. But that's what went on there. But let's move on to the next tip. Let me know how y'all feel about it. Let's move on to the next. So we got Serena Williams' husband, Alex. So Charlamagne the God had a reaction because Alex ended up on what was he on? He was on ESPN, some show where he actually confronted Stephen A. Smith. He confronted him about, coming for his wife. And he thought he was gonna have a chance to speak to him face to face, but it was through video and stuff. So Charlamagne was on, the Breakfast Club, giving his little 1-2, and he felt like Alex should have did it face to face because when he had an issue with who did he have an issue with? He'd had an issue with a whole bunch of different people. You know how Charlamagne always caught up in something, and he said all them people would set up meetings to come to the Breakfast Club, and he would handle it face to face. He said he should have did it that way. Actually, he did it the right way because he thought that Stephen was gonna be there, but Stephen was gonna be there, but he wasn't. But there was an even better place, and Stephen Smith, A. Smith didn't really. He kind of hushed down and like, you know, he backed off like he ain't did nothing, like he ain't want no smoke. I said, so criticizing him how he moved, he did the right thing by checking him when he synced him. He synced him on video, live video in the studio, and that's how he checked him. But that's how it went. But let me know how y'all feel. But let's move on to the next. Okay. Last thing up, and let's get into it. So, baby. So Ray J sat down with Tasha K. Not only Ray J, everybody thought this was Orlando Brown, but that's A1. So A1 and Ray J sat down with Tasha K. And Tasha K ended up asking Ray J how is his relationship with his sister. Did he mess up the brand? And he ended up breaking down crying. And it's like I would break down crying too. You messed up the brand. You and your sister love you from afar. She don't mess with you like that. And because of the way you move. And if you go back to their the Norwood family reality show and how he moved doing that and the way he act, yeah, he kind of proved that this family, that their connection was he was kind of pulling away, and it was going to end sooner or later. But he ended up having a breakdown. They showed a little clip of it. But when it finally aired, I'm gonna look into it and see if he actually answered the question. Did he? I believe he ruined the brand that they were building, and as a family, because he wanted to do him, and he could have still did him like he's doing today, but the way he goes by things is very erratic and off the charts, and it's not what the family was trying to do. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about everything that I talked about today. That's what's going on this Hip Hop Wednesday. And I will get back at y'all later. It's your boy Paul. Like, share, subscribe, and join the channel. And I will get back at y'all later. Bye, y'all.